CQ, CQ, CQ. Welcome to the TGIF RadioNet for Friday, May 23rd, 2025. My name is Steve, call sign KWØZ, and I'll be filling in for the legendary Robert Gretzman, K4WZV. He's the chief engineer and the mastermind behind the TGIF DMR Amateur Radio Network. We meet every Friday at 8:30 p.m. Eastern Time on server talk group 31665 to chat about chosen subjects and anything else related to amateur radio. Tonight, let's talk about talk groups and radio nets. Where do you like to hang out on the radio dial? I'd like to hear from you. Now, emergency traffic will be indicated by a triple break and will be accepted at any time during the net. Remember, this is a directed net, so please only transmit when directed to do so by the net control station. When you check in, please say your call sign phonetically. For example, my call sign is Kilo Whiskey 0 Zulu. That's KW0Z. Pause for a break. Well, stations, before we get into call sign check-ins, let's call for announcements and news for our amateur radio net. Any stations anywhere who have announcements to make or news to bring to our amateur radio net this evening, push the talk button now.
K4WZV announcement.
Net Control recognizes Doc from St. Petersburg, Florida. N4HYK, the podium is yours.
KWØZ and the TGIF net. This is N4HYK. November 4, Hotel Yankee Kilo. And I'm located in St. Petersburg, Florida. All information under my call letters on KWØZ is correct. I would like to announce something I should have been doing at the announcement time here, since we the HF Talk Net, which is talk group 117. I repeat, the HF Talk is on talk group 117. I may have said net, but there's no net. There's no net. It's just rag you about anything HF. Anything at all. All modes. And HF Talk. That's talk group 117. If you have any questions or anything, you can look me up on KWØZ, November 4, Hotel Yankee Kilo. It is not in my talk group, but there's lots of people who come there to talk HF stuff. Back to that, N4HYK.
Excellent suggestion there, Doc. And for HYK, we have you written into the TGIF Amateur Radio log for this evening, Friday, May 23rd, 2025, and a copy on Talk Group 117, the high-frequency talk group. No net, it's just all talk. Anytime you've got a question, a comment, debate, discussion, anything to bring to the table about high-frequency radio, Talk Group 117 is the place to be. So, Doc, we'll remind everybody when we get into the discussion about talk groups and high-frequency nets, you might keep your notes about the high-frequency nets that you like to check into, and we'll talk all about it a little bit later this evening. So appreciate your check-in there, Doc. N4HYK, duly noted. Call for other stations with news or announcements for this evening's net. My name is Steve, KW0Z. Push your talk button now. Okay, nothing heard, stations. I have several announcements to make before we get into call sign check-ins. The first one is Memorial Day Reflection for Amateur Radio Operators. As we gather on the airwaves this Memorial Day weekend, we pause to honor our fallen heroes, those who have made the ultimate sacrifice for our freedom. Their courage and selflessness resonate deeply within the amateur radio community, where service and connection are core values. We also cherish the memory of loved ones who've left us, their voices forever etched in our hearts, much like a clear signal on a quiet band. This weekend, as we key up our radios, let's practice compassion for ourselves, our loved ones, and our community. Operating can be challenging. Missed QSOs, tough conditions, or personal struggles can weigh heavy. Be kind to yourself, to every contact, to every effort. Strengthen your community. Let's share stories of heroes and loved ones on the nets and keep their legacies alive. To our veterans, active duty operators, and all hams, thank you for your service on and off the air. That's our Memorial Day reflection for amateur radio operators from the TGIF Amateur Radio Net. Pause for a break. Now, stations, I have a special announcement here. I'm standing in for our fearless leader, K4WZV, that's Robert Bretzman, and he's taking a weekend stay over at James A. Haley Veterans Hospital. And I'd like to maybe orient you to the hospitality that Robert is enjoying here. We're going to guide you through the wild world of the Tampa VA with a grin and a QSO. Now picture this, a hospital so dedicated to our veterans, it's been serving since 1972 with more bells and whistles than a fully loaded ham shack. First, let's orient you to this healthcare hotspot on 13000 Bruce B. Downs Boulevard in Tampa. Think of it as the QTH for top-notch care. This place is busier than a 20-meter band during field day, handling everything from cardiology to mental health, and it's one of only 4 polytrauma centers in the nation. If you need a wheelchair, they've got you covered faster than you can say CQDX. Parking? Well, let's just say it's like hunting a rare contact. Bring patience or hitch a ride with a disabled American Veterans Transport. Break. Now, stations for our newbies, this hospital's got more specialties than a multi-band antenna. Primary care, spinal cord rehab, even adaptive sports like surfing for veterans with disabilities. Yep, you heard that. Veterans catching waves or hitting the golf course at the National Disabled Veterans Tea Tournament. And don't miss the Fisher Houses. Free lodging for families, no QRM, just comfort. This Memorial Day, as we fire up the rigs, let's honor our fallen heroes who have kept the airways of freedom open. Share a story about a loved one or a hero on the net, and let's keep it kinder than a QSO with a YL on Valentine's Day. Be compassionate with yourself, friends. Whether you're battling QSB or just learning the ropes, you're part of this ham family. So grab your mic, check into the net, and let's make some noise for our veterans and loved ones this evening. And with that, I'd like to introduce the star of the show, the man, the myth, the legend, the big bad boss with the red hot sauce. That's Kilo Whiskey, Zanzibar, Victoria, K4WZV, Kilo with, getting my call signs all mixed up there. I'm so excited here. Hey, Robert, the podium is yours.
Yeah, okay. Good evening to everybody on the net. Just a quick update what's going on. I am checked in at the James Haley Hospital a couple days ago. For those of you that know me out here, you know that I'm diabetic. We've talked about it enough out here. And I've got problems with my feet, and my left foot is really messed up. So they're in the middle of diagnosing what they need to do to keep this from happening again and heal properly. So I will be here probably till sometime next week. The sooner they release me, the better. But going to probably have to get another operation. So here we are, and it's great to be able to tune into the net with the hotspot and stuff. And I've been doing lots of demonstrations, and everybody around thinks it's a really neat thing. So we'll send it on back to Stephen, who was kind enough to take over this evening for the net. And we'll be listening here in the background. This is K4WZV, back to net control.
QSL, Robert, 100%. Your signal is loud and clear, and we are happy that you got the radio and can be part of this radio net this evening. I know all the stations are rooting for you, and we'll be right beside you there listening here on Talk Group 31665. Happy to lend a hand any time there, my friends. So with that, we'll move on with our radio net this evening. Hey, stations, I've got to check my transmitter here. Is this thing working? I've got a secret encoder ring. We've got a fellow station who's going to help me with the call sign check-ins and the rest of the radio net. I'd like to introduce our friend from the Outer Banks of North Carolina. That's Whiskey 2 Sierra Hotel Romeo, W2SHR. Steve Roth, the podium is yours.
Oh, Steve, good evening. Thank you. Didn't really expect to get tossed into this, but here I am. For anybody who doesn't know where the Outer Banks is, I am 3 miles off the coast of North Carolina, out in the Atlantic Ocean. It's a beautiful sandbar, and we love it. Glad to be part of this. Sorry to have Robert away, and hopefully he will be back very soon. So, Steve, why don't you get us started?
Well, Steve, I don't know if I can start, since our station might get confused on who's talking here. It's all monophonic here. Copy that, Steve?
Yeah, but I know you well enough. You got something cooked up.
Well, Steve, I'm gonna fall back onto the International Phonetic Alphabet, and we're gonna substitute some phonetics here for my call sign this evening. Instead of Kilowatt Whiskey Zero Zulu, how about the Kansas Wizard of Oz? You just call me Wiz there. How's that? And wonder about the Outer Banks there. Isn't there a bat cave over there? W2SHR.
Yeah, sirree. It seems as though Robert helped me establish that a little while ago so that my buddy Ken and I in the morning could get out of your way. So, yeah, I've unfortunately been known as Batman for a while. I think I'm also bat crazy, so it sort of works.
Well, very good, Steve. I saw Wayne, W6IZK key up there. We'll get you into the logbook here, Wayne, and we're just about to get into short-time check-ins. Copy that, Batman, and we'll get this show going here. So W2SHR will be Batman, and I'll be the Kansas Wizard of Oz. Just call me Wiz over here, KW0Z. And with that, it's time for short-time check-ins, station. If you are short of time, we are ready to copy. Tonight is Friday, May 23rd, 2025. You are listening to the TGIF Amateur Radio Net on Talk Group 31665. Call for short time check-ins. If you are short of time, we are ready to copy. Push your talk button now.
Kilo Bravo 4, Quebec, Charlie Echo, KB4 2CE.
Kilo Echo 2, Kilo Luna, K2KL.
Whiskey Bravo 3, India, Hotel Yankee, WB3IHY.
Whiskey Bravo 3, Golf Charlie Kilo, WB3GCK.
Victor Echo 3, Juliet Alpha Radio, VE3JAR.
KC1MNJ, KC1LKO. WA3ZHR, Whiskey Alpha 3, Zulu, Hotel, Romeo.
Kilo Romeo 4, Charlie Echo Alpha, checking in.
KQ4WSW, Kilo Quebec 4, Whiskey, Foxtrot Whiskey, Tampa, Florida.
Kilo 7, Delta Charlie Echo, K7, BCE.
November 1, X-Ray Quebec, X-Ray N1, XQX. Alpha Echo 6, Mike Lima, AE6ML.
KJ4LWZ.
KE4TLC, Kilo Echo 4, Tango Lima Charlie.
Kilo Alpha 3, November Golf Tango.
Kilo 4.
Kilo Delta 3, Bravo Charlie Lima.
Kilo Delta 0 Charlie India Victor KD0 CIV.
November 8, Mike Echo, N8MME.
Victor Echo 6, Papa Lima Charlie, VE6PLC.
Kilo Bravo 8, India Whiskey Oscar, KB8 IWO.
N4 ZWR, November 4, Zebra Whiskey Romeo. X-Ray 4, X-Ray Romeo, Kilo X-Ray 4 Romeo.
November 9, Delta Yankee Oscar, N9 DYO.
Well, stations, I'll grab the podium here right now, and call sign check-ins are rolling in faster than a Midwestern thunderstorm. And wonder how you're doing over there, Batman. How's your copying the call signs there? I've got, let's see, man, I've got, looks like we got 31 check-ins here so far, Batman. How about you? Over?
Well, being the ageless rookie that I am, I got 29, so two of you guys snuck by me, but what can I tell you? It's hockey time, and, you know, one's already snuck past Dallas, so it's Edmonton 1-0.
Well, copy that, Batman. How about you check my, verify my accuracy of transcription here at the TGIF satellite headquarters here in the Middle West. I'll lead off with Doc, N4HYK, followed by Paul in Spartansburg, South Carolina. That's KB4QCE. Wayne, W6IZK. Angel, KE2KL. Joe, WB3IHY. Craig, WB3GCK. Vic, Victor Echo 3 Juliet Alpha Radio. Martha, KC1MNJ. Miguel, KC1 LKO. Terry, WA3 Z Hotel Romeo. Neil, KR4 CEA. William, KQ4 WFW. Doug, K7 DCE. Dennis, N1 XQX. Michael, AE6ML. Glenn, KJ4LWZ. Edward, KE4ERH. Timothy, WD8MGU. Dion, KE4TLC. Bruce, KA3NGT. Bob, KK4KSX. Robert, KX4XR. That's Kilo X-Ray 4 X-Way Radio. Rami, KD4 BCL, Dolores, KD0CIV, David, N8MME, that's Mike Echo, Cliff, Victor Echo 6, Papa Lima Charlie, Vernon, KD8IWO, Sam, N4ZWR, Sal, N6 SPD, and winding up from Indianapolis, Indiana, that's Herbert, N9 DYO. And that's our first batch of short-time check-ins. How'd I do there, Batman? Would you like to make the pitch for the second round of short-time check-ins? Back to W2SHR. The podium is yours.
Thank you, Wiz. I don't know how you guys do it. I'll tell you, being my first night, I realize there's going to be some hiccups, but wow, it's tough getting all of those things typed in time, that's for sure. Let's see if we can stress ourselves again. I know we got some more people out there with short time, so come on now and tell us you're here. Push your talk button, please.
Kilo Charlie 3, Juliet Sierra.
Kilo Bravo 5, Charlie Tango Mike, KB5 CTM.
Kilo Echo 8, Papa Charlie Quebec, KE8 PCQ.
2 Oscar Zulu, K2OZ.
Kilo Echo 8 Alpha Papa Oscar KE8 APO.
Kilo Foxtrot myself. This is the third time I've seen myself on the meter finally. K5MG. Kilo 4 Yankee Golf Delta K4WZV.
Kilo Delta Niner India Tango Oscar KD9ITO.
Fantastic work there, stations. Really appreciate all the call sign check-ins here, leading off with Bruce, KC3JS, followed by Bob, KB5CTM, KE8PCQ, Dan, K2OZ, Adam, W8FLH, Dave, KE8APO, Mark, KF5MG, Russ, K4YGD. And from Northern Illinois Bottle Cap Balloon Brigade, the one and only Carrie Willis, KD9ITO from Chicago, Illinois. And that's the second set of short-time check-ins. Let's go for one more round there, Batman. Would you like to make the call to what, Metropolis or, I forget, Gotham City there? I'd like to hear from everybody. W2SHR, the podium is back to you.
Thank you there, Mr. Wizard. That's right. Mr. Wizard, haven't said that in many years. All right, guys, who's left out there? I know it's a Friday night and we're all tired, and it's a holiday weekend, but let's see if we got some more short-timers before we get more organized here. Please come down with your call sign.
November Yankee 2 Sierra. November Yankee 2 Sierra. NY2S.
Whiskey Charlie 7 Victor, WC7E.
Kilo Alpha 2 Tango Oscar Charlie, KA2 TSE, Dan in Clearwater, Florida.
Well, stations, just imagine if we came together for a picnic, what everybody might bring. We'd have quite a spread here this evening. Man, we're already counting about 42 or so check-ins, leading off with Tom, NY2S, Carrie, WC7V, and Dan, KA2TOC from Clearwater. And with that, Batman, I'm going to move into our structured call signs. If you have a 0, a 1, a 2, or a 3 in your call sign, I'd like to hear from you. I've got the spreadsheet queued up, and we're ready to copy into the TGIF Amateur Radio Net log for Friday, May 23rd, 2025. 0s, 1s, 2s, and 3s. If you've not checked in yet, push your talk button now.
Whiskey Baker 3 Golf Tango Mike, WB3GGM. And I hope Robert recovers and heals up soon and gets home quick.
Echo 3 Romeo Delta, VE3RD.
Kilo 1 Whiskey Mike Papa, K1WMP, California.
Kilo Bravo 3 Julie, Quebec, Quebec, AB3JQQ. Here's my dad's tags.
Hey, these zeros, ones, twos, and threes are kind of dragging their tail. Where is everybody here? We've got Michael, WB3GTM, followed by Phil, VE3RD, and Bill, K1WMP, and let's see, Scott, KB3 Japan, Quebec, Quebec. Appreciate all the check-ins there, zeros, ones, twos, and threes. Let's have a second round of zeros, ones, twos, and threes. If you haven't had a chance to check in yet, I'm ready to copy. Push your talk button now.
TB3 NUN, Kilo Bravo 3, Nancy, Uniform Nancy.
From West Pittston, Pennsylvania, that's Eddie, KB3 NUN. Appreciate your key up there, Eddie. I'm going to add a couple of stragglers here to the zeros, ones, twos, and threes. That's KW0Z and W2SHR. We're both logged in there. How about that, Batman? We're not all out for the, fours, fives, and sixes. The podium is back to you, sir.
Okay, if you start with a 4, 5, or 6, we hope you will check in now. And I got to tell you, it is wonderful to hear all of you guys coming in here that are on during the day. Good to hear some familiar voices and some new ones as well. So, time to check in. Push your talk button. Yeah, your talk button now.
Kilo 4 Juliet Foxtrot Hotel, K4JFH.
This is Kilo 4 Whiskey Zulu Victor, K4WZV.
November Golf 5 November. NG5N.
Kilo 5 Golf Uniform, K5GU.
C5R.
Kilo Delta 4 Bravo Juliet Alpha, KD4 BJA.
KF5 KHS, Kilo Foxtrot 5, Kilo Hotel Sierra.
Kilo Charlie 5 Lima Alpha Alpha, KC5LAA.
Stations, I'll jump in here on the fours, fives, and sixes and let you know who's checked in so far. And it's a fantastic turnout this evening, holiday turnout. And the more the merrier, I think, here in our amateur radio net. Let's get started with James Valley, KF6S/SK. James was collaborator with Mitch, EA7KDO, in developing the next-gen screen hotspots for TGIF, and also in programming Pi-Star for the RAD-XA computer chips, computer boards when the Raspberry Pi boards were in short supply. So we always like to honor James, KF6S/SK from West Hills, California. Continuing, Ken, K4JFH, another co-conspirator there from Raleigh, North Carolina. And then our legendary K4WZV from Spring Hill, Florida. That's Robert Bretzman. Continuing, Jerry, NG5N from Ferris, Texas. Leland, K5GU from Fort Worth, Texas. Christian, KC5R from San Antonio, Texas. Kurt, KD4BJA from Van Buren, Arkansas. Michael, KF5KHS from Corsicana, Texas. And rounding out the first call for fours, fives, and sixes, we got John, KC5LAA from Kima, Texas. I appreciate all the stations checking in. Let's keep this good thing going here. I'd like to hear from 4s, 5s, and 6s. Anybody who has not had a chance to key up, push your talk button now.
NC5R.
November 4, Mike, November, N4MNN.
Stations, that's fantastic. Really appreciate you bringing up the 4s, 5s, and 6s here, Marty. N4MNN. And November Charlie 5 Radio. That's NC5R from College Station. And I need to get a name on that. All my telemetry's out of phase here right now. So NC5R, we've got you logged in here, and we'll announce your name next round there from College Station, Texas. And let's move on to the 7s, 8s, and 9s in our listening audience here. Anybody who has a 7, 8, or a 9 in your call sign, I'd like to hear from you if you haven't had a chance to check in yet. We'll lead off with EA7KDO/SK. That's Mitch Savage. And Mitch, well, he's the guy that got all this good stuff started here on TGIF. We'll talk a little bit more about Mitch a little bit later on in the broadcast here. So with that, 7, 8s, and 9s, if you haven't had a chance to check in yet, push your talk button now.
Kilo Bravo 8, Kilo Echo Sierra, KB8KES.
Whiskey Delta 9, Hotel Golf Oscar.
Well, so far so good, stations. We got Mitch, EA7KDO/SK, calling from far high in the higher frequencies there. Michael, KB8KES. And Paul, WD9HGO. Appreciate all the check-ins there. Let's have another round of 7, 8s, and 9s. Keep this good thing going for Robert Bretzman there at the James Haley Hospital, VA Hospital in Tampa, Florida. 7, 8s, and 9s. If you haven't had a chance to check in yet, I'm ready to copy. Push your talk button now.
Kilo Charlie 9 Alpha Sierra Charlie. That's KC9ASC.
Kilo Bravo 8, Apollo, KB8PFL.
Whiskey Yankee 7, Juliet Tango, WI7JT.
Kilo Charlie 9, Sierra India Oscar, KC9 SIO.
Well, Batman, I hope you copied all of those stations checking in with us here. Let's get started with Eric, KC9ASC, followed by Ed, KB8TFL, Jason, WY7JT, and let's see, Steve, KC9SIO. Those are 7, 8s, and 9s that have checked in. Let's have one round for 7, 8s, and 9s, and then we'll have an all call there. So, if you haven't had a chance to check in yet with a 7, 8, or a 9, I'm ready to copy. Push your talk button now.
Kilo Bravo 9, Lima India Quebec, KB9 LIQ.
Kilo Victor 9 Quebec, KV9Q.
The stations, we can virtually do this all night long. I really appreciate everybody keying up here. Keeps things lively. Leading off with Ben, KB9LIQ, followed by Michael, KB9Q, and Mario, K9GLK. Those are 7, 8s, and 9s in the TGIF Amateur Radio Network this evening. Appreciate your key up there. Let's toss it wide open, Batman. Anybody, anywhere. If you have not had a chance to check in yet, especially if you're a new station, we'd like to hear from you. We've got plenty of patience and lots of room on this spreadsheet here. So if you have not had a chance to check in yet, we'll take our time. Push your talk button, and we'll log you into the TGIF Amateur Radio Net log for this evening. So, Anybody, anywhere, if you haven't had a chance to check in yet, push your talk button now.
KG5PTT.
Hey, copy your Josh there, KG5PTT. Appreciate your key up there. And let's see, I think I owe Gib apology there, K8GLK. For some reason on the TGIF dashboard, your name comes up as Mario, and here on the spreadsheet, I see Gib there. So appreciate you checking in there, my friend, K8GLK. Now, stations, just because of Memorial Day, and I've got some special folks on my mind. I've lost a couple of brothers here in recent weeks, and since it's Memorial Day, I think this might be a good opportunity to come back with a call sign check-in for your Elmer or for a loved one, somebody that you may have had an amateur radio license. We'd like to get them into the log for Memorial Day weekend here 2025 at TGIF. I'm going to lead off with KA0PDS. That's old Tom Ford. And he got me started here in DMR radio on TGIF and was gracious enough to show me the ropes and have some patience with this neophyte senior getting used to DMR radio there. So I'm going to lead off with KA0PDS and call for any other Elmer stations out there. Let's get them in the books and remember those folks who inspired us. I'm leading off with KA0PDS. The podium is open. Push your talk button now.
This is Kilo Charlie 8 USA. Late check-in, sorry.
K4WZV.
N4MNN.
Hey, that's great, stations. Good to hear from you. I know the podium is open. I kind of left it ambiguous there. So if you're calling in with your Elmer or if you just want to be written into the log, we've got you here. I'm going to call your call signs back, and if you want a shot at the podium, we'll pause so you can key up and let us know you're there. Let's remember KA0PDS/SK. That's old Tom Ford from St. Charles, Missouri. KC8 USA, Fred Fritz. K4WZV, that's Robert Bressman. And Marty, N4, Mike, November, all keyed up. Let's toss it back to Fred there if you have a further comment. KC8 USA, the podium is yours.
Yeah, no, Tom, or Steven, sorry. I got carried away on my computer here and I didn't check in. But, yeah, I'm a Vietnam veteran, crew engineer, door gunner, and, saw a lot of action, so we'll just leave it at that. KC8 USA.
A salute to you, my friend, and I know you're speaking for quite a few brothers, too, so appreciate what you bring to our radio net there, Fred. KC8 USA. Let's toss it over to Robert. K4WZV. The podium is yours.
Yeah, I want to remember a couple hymns that were back in the day, and Doc will know who I'm talking about. W4, and my finger's slipping off. W4WWJ. His name was Jim. He is a silent T, and I've actually got some equipment that he left for me when he passed. But Graham, anybody would want to be his friend, very helpful, just a really, really good guy there. W4WWJ, his name was Jim. And also there's another gentleman, W4FAA. His name was also Jim, and he would give anybody his shirt off to his back. I mean, just great people, and I want to hopefully never forget about them there, because they gave a lot to the amateur radio hobby and a lot to friendship there. Back to net control.
Robert, I can hear your appreciation in your voice this evening for your friends, Jim, Whiskey 4, Whiskey Juliet, and Jim, Whiskey 4, Foxtrot Alpha Alpha. W4FAA, both influential in your development as an amateur radio operator and great contributors to our hobby here. And we love to remember them there. W4WWJ and W4FAA. Hats off in respect. Let's write in old Chuck Digby, too. My partner, KD0TOT, passed away about 3 weeks ago. Had a soft landing with his radios turned on next to him, so I can't think of a better way to go out. Even broke the squelch tail, I think, there. KD0TOT. With that, let's toss it over to Marty. N4MNN. The podium is open. Push your talk button now.
Control, sorry, got a dog barking here, but thank you for this time for me to have the podium. Would like to honor and mention my Elmer, UGL, Dwight. He was a hero veteran, and I'd like to remember him, and he's silent key now, about a month. And appreciate his time and service and help to me in getting into this wonderful hobby. And as well, my hat's off to all our service personnel. Thank you for your service. That's W4UGL, Dwight. This is N4MNN.
N4MNN, Marty, I really appreciate what you brought to the table there, and hats off and respect for your partner there. Dwight, Whiskey 4, Uniform Golf Lima. That's W4UGL. Might have gone by ugly, I don't know. But he introduced you to our wonderful hobby, and served our country, and I know that's just too soon, man, just 4 weeks ago. So we'll remember Dwight there from Margate, and appreciate your key up there, Marty. N4MNN, in remembrance, Whiskey 4, Uniform Golf Lima. And with that, call for further stations. Anybody, if you'd like to remember your Elmer or bring somebody to the table, we are ready to copy. So my name is Steve, KW0Z. Push your talk button now.
KC1 LKO. KD9 ITO.
This is Wayne, Central South Carolina, and good evening to all.
Very good stations. Net Control heard 3 key ups there. Let's start with Miguel, KC1 LKO. The podium is yours.
Thank you, Stephen. Thank you for running. My understanding is what is being recognized now is people that were influential, that taught us things in the hobby, who have passed away. And I'd like to mention none other than ES7KDO, Mitch. I think everybody or most people here probably know of Mitch, and thank you, Stephen, for doing what you're doing. KC1LKO.
KC1LKO, this is KW0Z, and yes, indeed, from Almunicar, Spain, we remember and honor the founder of the TGIF Amateur Radio Net, EA7KDO/SK, Mitch Savage. Mitch, I don't have enough words to describe how Mitch has shaped our experience here in DMR radio. But, the software keeps humming, the networks keep humming, and, that positive energy that he invested there, that just keeps on coming back every time I turn on my radio there. So appreciate that memory there, Miguel. KC1LKO, remembrance of EA7KDO. That's Mitch Savage from Almunicar, Spain. And with that, let's move to Chicago. Kerry, KD9ITO, the podium is yours.
Yeah, thank you, Steve, and thank you for running the net. I'd like to recognize my Elmer, Bob Schiff, KA9HHH, who was instrumental with TGIF here. He not only helped me with amateur radio, he helped me progress, encouraged me to progress, eventually becoming an extra and a volunteer examiner. Bob became the silent key in March of 2020. He wasn't around when we started the Northern Illinois Bowel Capitalism Brigade, but he would have been excited about that. And in honor of Bob, I'm using his radio, Anytone 868, here on the net. This is KD9ITO, recognizing KA9HHH. Back to you, Steve.
Well, Kerry, as you know, it doesn't matter if it's 4 weeks or 5 years. It still feels like yesterday. And appreciate your honoring Bob Schiff, Kilo Alpha 9 Hotel Hotel, KA9HHH. Your inspirational Elmer. He also encouraged you to become a volunteer examiner and earn that extra class license. So, duly noted, my friend. We'll put a star on his chart tonight. KA9HHH, honored by KD9ITO. Appreciate that key up there, Kerry. Let's move to Richard in West Columbia, South Carolina. KC4EXO, the podium is yours. All right, stations, nothing heard there. We'll stand by for KC4EXO from West Columbia, South Carolina. Richard keyed up there. Maybe he's got a Elmer he remembers. Let's have one more round of memories for anybody, anywhere who has influenced us in our hobby, shaped our lives, and set us on the right path. I'd like to hear from you. Stations, push your talk button now.
5, Romeo.
Net Control recognizes Robert, November Charlie 5 Romeo. The podium is yours.
KW0Z, NC5R. Thank you, Riz. I just want to recognize an Elmer of mine who is now a silent key. He was a career Army veteran, and he was extremely proud of me 30-some years ago when I passed that 20-word-a-minute CW test to get this extra class license. His name was Tom Miller, WA5OND. That's Whiskey Alpha 5, Mike Oscar Delta. Just recognizing Tom for all that he did for me and many, many others in amateur radio. NC5R, back to net.
Robert, MC5R, this is KW0Z, and a tip of my cap to you, sir, for achieving that 20 words per minute CW so many years ago. And I really appreciate you remembering Tom. Whiskey Alpha 5, Mike Oscar Delta, that's WA5MOD. Man, it's fantastic to see how those waves of propagation just continue to oscillate and influence us so far down the line there. Appreciate your memory there, NC5R, and tip of the cap to Tom, WA5MOD. Appreciate that memory, Bob. Let's move on. Any other stations? One more round of memories of our Elmers and other influential helpers in our lives. I'd like to hear from you. My name is Steve, KW0Z. Push your top button now.
Kilo Delta 3, Bravo Charlie Lima.
All right, stations. Had two stations checked in there. W8NIN. That's Whiskey 8, November, India, November. The podium is yours.
Very good, sir. This is my first time actually talking to the TGIF group on the TGIF network. Full call sign, Whiskey 8 and 9-inch nails, Mike in Perm, Ohio, which is just south of Cleveland. Normally I hang out on 2021 Free Speech Radio. But the moderator of that group mentioned this. I'm like, yeah, I've never been on this actual channel or talk group. So I was like, all right, I guess I'm overdue. But good talking to you, sir. And as for 2021, and been spending money kind of, well, not left and right, making judicious expenditures to expand my knowledge into ham radio.
Hey, Michael, there is nothing wrong with being an autodidact, self-starting scholar there. And tip of the cap to you, we'll just consider that Whiskey 8 9-inch nails was his own Elmer. How do you like that? From Parma, Ohio. Appreciate your check-in there, Michael, and a great inspirational story there. That's W8NIN. And with that, let's move on to Ramey, KD3BCL. Ramey, the podium is yours.
Yeah, I just want to give a shout out to my dad, my Elmer. He was an extra AE3B and an Air Force veteran. He went silent 10 years ago, but he taught me a lot and begged me for years to become a ham. So, shout out to him.
Hey, Dan, tip of the cap and salute to Alpha Echo 3 Bravo. That's AE3B. Your dad passed 10 years ago, and I know that propagation just keeps on going. So appreciate you helping us remember your father. And imagine there's a part of him there just kind of standing right behind you there when you push your talk button there every time you get on the radio there. So we'll honor Alpha Echo 3 Bravo. That's AE3B. Appreciate you honoring your father there, Dan. Wish my dad was a ham. Maddie's trying to talk to me from a higher frequency. We'll have to listen in all mode operations there. Well, one last call for anybody who would like to honor their loved ones, their Elmers, their teachers, and other guides along the way. I'm ready to copy. My name is Steve, KWØZ. The podium is open for Memorial Day. Push your talk button now. All right, stations, the signals, my friend, are blowing in the wind, and appreciate all the remembrances we brought to the table here. It's 32 minutes past the hour. Hey, we've been on the air for an hour and 2 minutes. How do you like that, Batman?
Gee, you had to wake me up from that nap I was getting. No, that's great. Really good participation tonight, and it's really going to be interesting to see what people have to say about the early morning nets and stuff like that they get into.
Well, Batman, W2SHR, this is the Wizard of Oz, Kansas Wizard of Oz, KW0Z, copy on the early morning nets, and we'll get into that topic here a little bit, but meanwhile, hey, it's time for TGIF Marketplace. If you've got something you're looking for, something you'd like to buy, sell, or trade, we are here to copy and facilitate your connections there. Call for stations, anybody who has a topic, object, a piece of equipment, maybe some coax, hey, some books that influenced you. We'd like to hear from you. Let's get it out here on the TGIF Marketplace. Call for stations, anybody in the marketplace? The podium is open. Push your talk button now. Well, Batman, while everybody's shuffling through the drawers and looking for whatever they can put on the marketplace, I've turned to QRZ, and I thought I'd read some DMR listings here from the first page of the QRZ ham swap meet here. We've got an Anytone 878 listed by KD1YO on the QRZ marketplace. Motorola R7, UHF, FM, and DMR HT. That's listed by KE4IK. Continuing, another 878, Anytone 878 Plus. That's listed by Kilo Papa 2 Lima, KP2L. Moving on, we've got a Motorola 6550. That's something I might be interested in sometime. This one's VHF. It sells, price is listed up there. It's listed by November 5 Sierra Kilo Echo. The Motorola XPR 6550 VHF DMR HT. Continuing, another Motorola. This is an XPR 6580 900 megahertz DMR radio. This one's marketed by November 5. Sierra Kilo Echo, that's N5SKE on QRZ on ham swap meet here. And pause for a break. Continuing from QRZ, we've got a Kenwood NX3320 UHF DMR NXDN HT. And that's listed by Alpha Delta Zero Juliet Alpha AD0JA on QRZ Marketplace. That's the Kenwood NX3320 UHF DMR NXDN HT. And we've got one more listing here on QRZ relevant to DMR traffic. That's the SDS200 scanner, which apparently has, the key for DMR traffic. Let's see, this is listed by KB8SXK. That's Kilo Bravo 8 Sierra X-Ray Kilo. SDS200 scanner made by Uniden. And those listings can be found on the QRZ ham swap meet page. Just search for DMR and you'll see all those listings appear. How's that sound, Batman? How's my signal sound to you, and how's your copying going on over there? Keeping good notes, W2SHR, Batman. This is KWØZ, the Kansas Wizard of Oz.
KW0Z, W2SHR. Wiz, I see why they call you the Wiz. I don't know how you do it every week and how you do it so smoothly every week. It must come with some practice, that's for sure. Everything is good out here in the middle of the ocean. I'm doing fine, trying to keep notes, trying to keep up with you, but it's not an easy thing to do. Where are we going to go from here, sir?
Well, W2SHR, according to the BAT schedule here, I think it's time to leave the marketplace, the TGIF amateur radio marketplace. Let's move on to our topic for this evening, which call for comments about talk groups and radio nets that you'd like to participate in. I know we all listen to Talk Group 31665 here on TGIF DMR Network, but what other talk groups do you find interesting? Our friend Doc, N4H1K, invites us over to High Frequency Talk on Talk Group 117. And I'll tell you what, they cover all the topics. This goes from way back when to day after tomorrow. I mean, it is all the topics. Emphasis on antennas, feed lines, antenna matches, protocol, modes, operation, busy places on the band, propagation, solar storms, you name it. It's talked about on HF Talk Group 117. Call for other stations. Any other stations have interesting talk groups you'd like to bring to the table. Let's see, a station the other week, a couple of weeks ago, mentioned Talk Group 174, which is the weather talk group here on TGIF. I tuned to that when the tumultuous tornadic storms were moving through the Midwest there, just to stay in contact with other stations, see what's coming to us over the hill there. So Talk Group 174 for weather, and Talk Group 117 for high frequency talk and other amateur related topics. Call for stations with suggestions for talk groups and radio nets. Push your talk button now.
K4WZV.
Good to hear from you, Robert. Ready to copy K4WZV. The podium is yours.
Yeah, okay. Good evening, everybody on the net. And you're doing a good job, Stephen and Steve. Appreciate you guys taking care of the net. I wanted to mention Talk Group 777. It's a good way to listen in on all the different talk groups. So some folks don't know that we have Talk Group 777. So you just key up that talk group and put your radio in promiscuous mode, and it'll scan all the talk groups on the network. Back to net control.
That's an excellent suggestion there, boss. Talk Group 777. Stations, if you haven't had a chance to check out Talk Group 777, do so a little bit after the net here. When you key up Talk Group 777 and your radio is set to promiscuous mode, you will be listening to a variety of talk groups in the order that they activate on TGIF network. And so in one moment you may be talking to Scotland, the next moment maybe California. It's really an adventure, a radio adventure to tune into Talk Group 777. And a reminder, you can use on the TGIF.network webpage, you can go to self-care. If you happen to get locked onto Talk Group 777, the scanner page, and want to leave that group and have trouble keying up, you can use the self-care tab on the TGIF.network webpage and select another talk group, and that will switch you off of there. So great suggestion there, K4WZV. Talk Group 777, that's a scanner channel here on TGIF. Well, stations, I'd like to hear from other stations, anybody, anywhere. Who do you like to listen to, whether it's on TGIF, another network, or out there on the high frequency? We are ready to copy. Let's talk amateur radio. Push your talk button now.
Kilo Charlie 9, Alpha Sierra Charlie.
Whiskey Charlie 7 Victor.
Thanks for keying up there, Terry. We've got KC9ASC right ahead of you. KC9ASC, the podium is yours.
Well, good evening, Net Control, and everyone on the net. KC9ASC here. I was going to mention just a few different talk groups. I'm not sure if everyone's familiar with it, but if you listen throughout the day, it used to be called Dewdrop In. I think it's called Fireside now. Talk Group 326. There's also QuadNet 320. I frequently listen to 43389. That's the Southeast link. I'm just going to go ahead and plug, a shameless plug. Every Saturday, 8 p.m., I host the CSRA Multimode TechNet along with my friend Bill, K9PAL. It's every Saturday at 8 p.m. The website for the Southeast link is lmarc.net. Again, that's Lima Mike Alpha Romeo Charlie.net. And you can see a whole schedule of nets that happen throughout the week there. Trying to think, there's also the East Coast Reflector 9050. So those are just a few that I listen to, and I have them programmed on the radio. Want to share those with you guys, and hopefully you guys will find something that you like to listen to throughout the day. KC9ASC, back to Net Control.
Hey, Eric, those are fantastic suggestions. I'm afraid I missed the change of name there on the Dewdrop In. So if you could come back and repeat those slowly one more time. You listed maybe 4 talk groups there. I've got Dewdrop In, and then I've got 320 QuadNet, 43389, the Southeast Net, and I copied lmarc.net for their website there. And also East Coast Reflector, that's talk group 9050. So if you can come back with your list one more time, I'll try to write that coherently, and I've got backup from Batman there, W2SHR. So we are ready to copy. Push your talk button now.
All right, no problem. I'll start from low to high. 320, that's the QuadNet array, and we have a talker on, I think it's on a couple of other networks too, but there's D-Star, DMR, all that good stuff. But anyway, 320, if you go to their talk group page, then you'll see all the different other modes that they have. 326, it's I think it used to be called Dewdrop In. It's still linked to Dewdrop In, but I believe they call it Fireside. If you see that one, that's 326. 9050, East Coast Reflector. They also have their own webpage. If you just go to Google and type in East Coast Reflector, they'll have a whole schedule of nets that they carry. And then last but not least, the one I listen to the most probably is the Southeast link. That's 43389. Most of their nets are on at night, but they also do carry the Amateur Radio News line and the Absolute Tech Nets on Tuesdays. They have Tag Multimode Net on Wednesdays, Saturdays, the CSRA Multimode TechNet, and last but not least, on Sundays, they have the Sunday Night Net Tech Trivia, and I believe they also do Slow Scan TV. So all of those are on Talk Group 43389.
Copy all of the above there, Eric. Really appreciate this fascinating list, and like you say, it brings a lot of content to our radio here. Talk Group 320, that's the QuadNet, multi-mode QuadNet. Go to their Talk Group webpage or Talk Group page there on TGIF and read all about it. Also, Dewdrop In, maybe renamed as Fireside there. Talk Group 326. 326, that's the Dewdrop In. Fireside. 9050, that's the East Coast Reflector. Man, that is a hub and busy place. That's Talk Group 9050, East Coast Reflector. And the Southeast Net, Talk Group 43389, has nets most evenings. Medical, Talk Group 43389. So to review that for Batman's convenience there, we've got Talk Group 320, that's the QuadNet. We've got the Dewdrop In, Talk Group 326. Talk Group 9050, that's the East Coast Reflector. And 43389, that's the Southeast Net. And copy those. We'll get these published on the Facebook page for stations to refer to. And meanwhile, let's move on to Kerry. Whiskey Charlie 7 Victor. The podium is yours.
To mention 1007, the heart of the motorcycles, the active truckers, retired truckers, and all things mobile hotspots, mobile radios, the best providers for your hotspot in your mobile. It's you'll hear them on just about any time of the day or night, and they cover a lot of subjects. Back to you, Stephen, WC7V.
Gary, that is a tip-top suggestion. Talk Group 1007. That's the Harley Hangout, where truckers, bikers, hotspots, ISPs, all things related to mobile transportation and life on the road is discussed on Talk Group 1007. That's the Harley Hangout. And tip of the cap there to old KB7 RIR. Haven't talked to James for a while, but I believe he might have even started that Harley Hangout. 1007 Talk Group. Truckers, hotspots, ISPs, and all things related to the road. Appreciate that reminder there, Kerry. WC7V. Whiskey Charlie 7 Victor. Appreciate your key up. Well, any other suggestions for talk groups, radio nets, high-frequency nets, or other gathering spots on the bands? We'd like to hear from you. Let's keep this going. My name is Steve, Kilo Whiskey Zero Zulu. You can call me the Kansas Wizard of Oz. Push your talk button now.
This is Kilo Delta 3, Bravo Charlie Lima.
83 BCL. Dan, I think I might have overlooked you there, so appreciate your key up. The podium is yours. Dan, copy your check-in. We've got you written into the log. Wonder if you'd like to make a comment while we've got the podium open. KD3 BCL, the podium is yours. Okay, stations, nothing heard there, so we've got Give logged in here, KD3 BCL. Be standing by anytime you want to key up. We're happy to copy. And Batman, I wonder if you have some suggestions for talk groups and radio nets that we might tune into. You've been a little bit quiet over there in the back cave. I'd like to turn the radio over to the Outer Banks of North Carolina and switch to W2SHR. The podium is open. Push your talk button now.
Thank you, Wiz. Yeah, I've been quiet, just trying to follow your lead a little bit. What's happened is I've sort of become the bad boy. I'm doing more HF in the morning than I am anything else. And what I found was I've hooked up with some guys, they call themselves the Insomnia Group. And that since I'm up from, I may be up at 4, I may be up at 5. You can't tell anymore. But Insomnia Group is a 40-meter group. They're from 4 until 7 every morning at 7.238. The easiest thing I think I could tell anybody if they asked and wanted to do HF nets in the morning or almost any time of the day is to use NetLogger. If you're not familiar with NetLogger, it's a phenomenal little program that tells you what nets are out there. It allows you to monitor them, and when you do monitor them, Net Control knows that you're there, and they will actually, call you in order, and it's a really nice bunch of guys that I'm in with in the morning. I think they do the same thing on Corncob Net and Navy Net. There's a Brothers Net. The YL system goes all day. But these are all pretty much HF. Until tonight, honestly, I didn't know we really had anything other than this net on TGIF. So it's been an education to me, and I'm sure there are guys that are out there on HF as well, and you can have a lot of fun in there. You can't go anywhere without stumbling into a net. That'll teach me to take a break, won't it? There's just tons of nets out there, and I think you can enjoy them. It's just another aspect of the hobby, and I hope that some of the guys will join us early in the morning. Back to you, Wiz.
Thank you, Batman. W2SHR. Recognize your contributions here to our list, Batman. Sounds like some secret groups that you communicate with in the early hours of the morning, like that Insomnia group. I don't know about that. 40 meters from 4 to 7 a.m. I imagine that's Eastern time on 7.238 megahertz. That's the Insomniac group, 40 meters. That's pretty interesting, Batman. Makes sense that you'd be a group member of the Insomniac group. You also mentioned the Corncob Net, the Maze Net, the Brothers Net, and the YL Nets, and mentioned that NetLogger. It's an application that you can download, and it puts you in touch with the nets that are out there. It allows the Net Control operators to monitor who logs into the net, and Net Control can call on the participating stations using NetLogger. So appreciate your recommendations there, using NetLogger as some kind of information source and ability to track your communication on the high-frequency nets. So with that, W2SHR, turn the podium back to you. Further comments? Batman, I'm ready to copy. Push your talk button now.
Oh, thanks, Wiz. I'll tell you, this whole thing for anybody who's out there still listening, everything changed today. A lot of this we all pulled together quickly. I didn't know halfway through the afternoon that some of this stuff even existed. But it just shows what the hobby is like. And, I mean, now I'm going to go out and look at some of these digital nets. The HF nets, they've got me, I'm at the rabbit hole, guys. You know what I'm talking about. I just want to thank everybody for giving me a chance tonight to try to help Steve out. He is an amazing talent, as you guys know. And if you want to have some fun and know what he's doing, just try to keep up with logging everybody as they log in. And he does it with names and everything else, which I have found to be impossible tonight. But Steve, thank you. Robert, please come back soon so that I don't have to do this again. Back to Net Control.
Well, Batman, thanks for the accolades. I do my best to be amusing out there. I know I'm using Net Control. Appreciate those accolades. And, of course, yes, the podium is Robert's, and Robert's always welcome to be at the podium. But meanwhile, we'll just keep that radio seat warmed up for him here. And I appreciate your comments about those high-frequency nets and about NetLogger. that really helps us there. Well, stations, let's segue into, if you've got questions, we've got answers. It's been a long net this evening. We're 3 minutes before the top of the hour. Been about a 90-minute net so far, but we've got time to answer your questions. Have you been troubleshooting this week? Have you got a glitch? Maybe the magic smoke got out? Hi, SWR. We are here to help you solve those problems. So if you've got questions, we've got answers. Here on the TGIF Amateur Radio Net for Friday, May 23rd, 2025. Questions? Push your talk button now.
KC9ASC. Not a question, but I did have another net for you.
4HY.
All right. Appreciate you keying up there, KC9 and ASC. The podium is yours.
Well, I had a correction I wanted to share with you. I did mention the 43389. It's called Southeast Link, not Southeast Nets. So I just want to share that with you guys. But 9 p.m. Eastern Time, 8 p.m. Central Time, Illinois Link. They have a net. It's called the Illinois Digital Net on 31171. That's on TGIF. Again, that's 31171. And somebody else mentioned another program out there that's free to use. It's right in your browser. It's called ham.live. You just log in with your Gmail accounts in your browser. It's at ham.live, and you can actually follow along with a bunch of different nets on there as well. So the website was made by a ham radio operator, and it's 4 hams, and you can actually log everything right there in your browser, and it sends you when you're done. So just want to share that with you. I found a lot of nets on all kinds of different bands just using that ham.live.
KC9ASC, this is KWØZ, and those are excellent suggestions there, Eric. Duly noted on Southeast Link, that's talk group 43389. Duly noted, Southeast Link, talk group 43389. Moving on to Illinois Net, sounds pretty popular there, talk group 3117, Illinois Net. And net's in the evening, 7 to 9 p.m. Eastern Time on the Illinois Net, talk group 3117. And ham.live. Sounds like a URL there. That's ham.live. If you can log in with your Gmail account, you can see the list of active amateur radio nets and additional information related to radio nets and the high-frequency bands. That's ham.live. So, to review, KC9ASC suggests talk group 43389. That's the Southeast Link. Talk group 3117. That's the Illinois Net. And ham.live to discover additional amateur radio nets on the air there. Thank you, Eric. KC9ASC. Appreciate those suggestions. Doc, N4HYK. Thank you for waiting, my friend. The podium is yours.
KW0Z in the net, N4HYK. Good evening to all again. I've got too much going on here. But anyway, the last few pickups or transmissions from different hams, I just felt like I needed to key up. This is some of the stuff I talk about all the time. You really have to operate to get this. Now, listening to you and who's the other station? Steve, W2SHR. There's a lot of this going on when I say different nets and how it's done, and forth and so on. I brought up some of this stuff on the Mnet. This is some of the stuff that I be talking about from time to time. And remember, KW0Z is a special ham. He puts poetry into running a net. So, there you are. And as far as your net goes, Stephen, I won't mention the name because I think I talked with you about this before. W2SHR. It seemed like you wanted that to be a private group. Although I got it programmed in radio, I never went there because you made it sound like it's a private group. So I just don't know what the new hams are doing. I really don't. I just thought amateur radio was open for everyone. Anyway, those are my comments. I'm making it more complicated than it is, net control. So I turn it back to you, sir. We can talk about this over and over in various ways, but I'd rather not do it on 31665. So if anyone have any questions about what I'm talking about or anything, okay, I knew I was going to time my radio out. Come to talk group 117, and we'll talk about it. And hurry up and get ready soon, Robert. I know you're there. You don't need me to get in the car and drive down there, do you? I've already turned my driver's license in 5.5 years ago. But if I have to, I will. Net control, this is N480YK. How copy?
Copy 100% there, Doc, and I appreciate your reminders. You know, amateur radio is intended to be a transparent hobby. Everybody is listening when we key up on our transmitters. And that's one of the reasons that we follow FCC rules and regulations and polite civil protocol as we make contacts with stations around the neighborhood and across the globe. And I appreciate your reminders about all that. Also, a reminder about Talk Group 117 being available for us to debate and discuss and engage in some hearty conversation about the favorite hobby of amateur radio. And let's see. Thinking about something else there. Oh, what are the young people doing? Well, Doc, I'll tell you what. Nothing is new except that which has been forgotten. And I'll tell you what, we reinvent the wheel every day here in amateur radio. It's kind of funny. We take 2 steps forward and 1 step back every day. If you're like me, rearranging the ham shack, cabling things, reprogramming my code plugs. It's always something. So 21st century amateur radio is definitely an exercise in change, adaptability, and evolution, I guess. And with that, we'll throw the podium open. Appreciate your comments there, Doc, and for HYK. Further comments or questions, if you have questions, we've got answers. Podium is open. Push your talk button now.
KC90SC, which is...
Hey, Eric, we've got plenty of time here at the podium. I'd like to hear from you. KC9ASC, the podium is yours. Eric, I think I stepped on you there. KC9ASC, the podium is open. Push your talk button now.
Yeah, just had a comment. The Illinois link was 31171, if anyone wanted to know about that one. Again, that's 31171. Just wanted to share for the correction. It's got that extra 1 at the end.
Duly noted there, KC9ASC, correction on the talk group for the Illinois net. Appreciate you checking on that. That's talk group 31171. Talk group 31171, the Illinois net here on TGIF. Appreciate your correction there, Eric. And, we can look up the list of talk groups available on TGIF, going to the menu on the left-hand side of the TGIF.network webpage, select from list of talk groups there under active, I believe that's the menu item. It's maybe second or third on the list there on the left-hand side. So you can look up all the talk groups here on TGIF. You can also start a talk group, but if you don't have anywhere else to go, start out there at Talk Group 117. Get something started talking about amateur radio, our favorite hobby, and then move around, see who's out here. I sure enjoy surfing the talk groups and checking in on various nets. Robert and I had an opportunity to check in on the Michigan One Digital Mobile Tech net last Monday on Zoom, and the prior week on DMR. So we had a lot of fun, and that's the best thing about amateur radio is it brings the world to our doorstep there. So Eric, KC9 ASC, appreciate that correction. Talk Group 31171 for Illinois net. Well, Batman, how we doing there? Let's call for further questions. If you've got questions, we've got answers, comments, and then we'll move on to late night check-ins and start to move on from our TGIF net. So, the podium is open, stations. If you've got questions, we've got answers. Push your talk button now.
Well, I got to tell you, Wiz, you're keeping me up late tonight. This is a lot longer than I usually go, so you deserve some flowers for that, because 5 o'clock, there's either going to be a dog or a cat telling me to get out of bed. But phenomenal job tonight, sir. Really appreciate it.
Well, thanks for saying so there, Batman. And indeed, my apologies for putting you to sleep. I know most of our listening audience this evening is giving us a sitting ovation. And I'll tell you what, it's quite an honor to receive a sitting ovation from our listening stations there. So really a blast to host the TGIF Amateur Radio Net this evening. It's actually my honor, and I appreciate all the stations who are checking in. You know, on my spreadsheet here, Steve, I am now in excess of 100 lines. Sometimes I'll skip a line between batches of call signs on here, but this is a first for me. We've reached line 113 now on my spreadsheet, so we've had a busy evening here on the TGIF Amateur Radio Net. Let's have one more call for late night check-ins. If you've not had a chance to check into our net this evening, we'd like to get you into the log for Friday, May 23rd, 2025. My name is Steve, station KWØZ. I am ready to copy late night check-ins. Push your talk button now.
Kilo Echo 7 Bravo Charlie.
Kilo Whiskey 4 Alpha Golf.
This is Kilo Charlie 0 Mike Yankee Papa KC0 MYP Dana on the far west end of Mason in Michigan.
Excellent work there, stations. Appreciate these late check-ins here. We have Kilo Echo 7 Bravo Charlie, KE7BC, Kilo Whiskey 4 Alpha Golf, that's KW4AG, and Dana, KC0 MYP, that's Kilo Charlie 0 Mike Yankee Papa, our host for the Michigan One DMR TechNet. Appreciate your check-in there, Dana. Let's have one more call for late night check-ins here on the TGIF Amateur Radio Net. If you've not had a chance to check in, I'd like to hear from you. Push your talk button now.
M4M. November 9 Whiskey Papa Delta and 9WPD.
Well, Net Control recognizes Noel, November Papa 4 Mike, NP4M, and Bill, N9 WPD. That's November 9 Whiskey Papa Delta. Bill, appreciate your check-ins there, stations. One more round. Anybody, anywhere. We like a train with a lot of cabooses here. So if you have not had a chance to check in yet, we've got plenty of time. Get ready to push your talk button now. Okay, nothing heard there, so that makes Bill, N9 WPD, the caboose for the TGIF Amateur Radio Net check-ins for Friday, May 23rd, 2025. Fantastic turnout this evening. Hey, Robert, we are pushing line 119. I'll bet you we've got 110 check-ins or so. So much activity here. It's been a fantastic Memorial Day weekend, Amateur Radio Net. Appreciate all the stations who've come here and checked in this evening. Pause for a break. Well, Batman, before we wrap up this evening's net, I just wanted to share a personal thought. Amateur radio is not just a hobby. It's a living bridge between the past and the future, between technology and humanity, and between people and communities. Every time we turn on our microphone or tap our digital interfaces, we are part of a grand tradition of human connection that spans generations. I want to thank you, Batman, for riding shotgun with me this evening. Sure made things a lot easier. It's never easy to operate the TGIF Amateur Radio Network with the satellite stations, research and development, the James Halley Hospital. Man, oh man, we have been busy. W2SHR, the podium is open. Push your talk button one more time, my friend.
Thank you so much for letting me sit in tonight. It's definitely an experience, that's for sure. Robert, if you are still out there, you get yourself better and get back to us quickly. Steve, wonderful doing this with you and to everybody out there. Hopefully you'll let me have my rookie jitters, and I hope I don't have to do this again for a long, long time, because that means somebody else can't, and that's not always a good thing. Have a great Memorial Day weekend, and again, Steve, thank you so much for this opportunity. I appreciate it.
W2SHR, this is KWØZ, and Steve, you know, the pleasure has been mine. I really appreciate you back up there. And, you know, as far as your second turn at the podium here, same bat time, same bat channel. Talk Group 31665, next Friday night, 8:30 p.m. Eastern. You will have the TGIF Amateur Radio Net. You can bet on that. The stations, we've had a great time here on the Amateur Radio Net this evening for Friday, May 23rd, 2025. I'd like to give a big shout out to some really special people in our amateur radio family now. Let's start with someone who will always hold a special place in our hearts. That's the founder of our DMR network. That's Mitch Savage, EA7KDO. Mitch passed about a year and a half ago now. He started the TGIF Amateur Radio Net with just a single Raspberry Pi. He gave us the next-gen screen hotspot on TGIF MMDVMs and spent countless hours helping operators with technical questions. We can't help but think of Mitch every day. His spirit lives on in every QSO across the TGIF DMR network. Tip of the cap to EA7KDO/SK. And a big shout out to Ty Weaver, KG5RKI. Ty is the coding genius behind TGIF. Andy Nielsen, G7LRR, is the right-hand man and the mastermind behind our dashboard. And he keeps our DMR network running smoothly, and we're lucky to have him on the TGIF team. Break. And let's give a shout out to Glenn Allison, N3MEL. Glenn created our forum page, and he's retired now, but we remember him every time we look up the TGIF Amateur Radio Net recordings and other reference material in the forum there. His work on starting the forum will always be remembered and appreciated. Now, our forum management team is amazing. That's Mark Rounds, 82CH, Doug Smith, KE5CDK, and Joe Garber, WB3IHY. These guys keep our forum running smoothly, answering questions and guiding newcomers. A big Tango Yankee to each of you guys from TGIF Network Operations. Let's also remember James Valley, KF6S/SK. James worked with Mitch on the next-gen screen hotspots. He also developed iStar for Rad XA boards and helped build this community here on TGIF Network. Thanks also go to Vic Lowen, VE3JAR, for his amazing TGIF documentation, and Phil Thompson, Victor Echo 3 Romeo Delta, that's VE3RD. Phil works on hotspot programming and net recordings. And is the conservator and new developer of the TGIF Next-Gen screen spots. Now remember, you can hear this and other TGIF amateur radio net recordings at TGIF.network webpage. Select the Forum tab on the left-hand menu. Scroll down to navigate to the TGIF Friday Night Net Recording Index on the Forum tabs at the TGIF.network webpage. Thanks, Bill, VE3RD, for making the TGIF Amateur Radio Net audio recordings. Break. And now, everyone, let's give a big shout-out. Prayers, happy hopes, and encouragement to Robert Bretzman, K4WZV. As the chief engineer of the TGIF network, Robert brings us all together 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year. Robert, thanks for joining us tonight and for keeping the TGIF DMR network running smoothly. To all the operators who join our nets, your voices, your stories, and your friendship make this radio net special. This community keeps getting stronger with each passing week. Your ideas help shape this net. If you have suggestions for future topics or activities, please share them. Together, we'll keep the TGIF radio net fun, informative, and enjoyable for everyone. Now, this is Steve. I'm the Kansas Wizard of Oz, KWØZ. I'll be signing off from Jefferson County, Kansas, where the spring wind has carried our signals far and wide. Join us again next week, same bat time, same bat channel, for another TGIF Amateur Radio Net on Friday night, 8:30 p.m. Eastern, on Talk Group 31665. This is the end of our net for tonight, Friday, May 23rd, 2025. The TGIF Talk Group 31665 is now back in use worldwide for community amateur radio use. 7-3 stations, and remember, thank God it's Friday. 7-3.